We're in movie mode. It is Saturday, August 17th, 2013. We're going to come and do an inspection on the property at 6 Rio Grande, West Jordan. I've got the owner, Lori, with me, and Lewis, an insurance restoration expert. It's about 1:45 p.m.
Hey guys.
Hi, we're here.
Okay, cool. For the room?
Yeah, we're going to take a look at it real quick.
Awesome, come on in. Sorry, we just drove back from Arizona all night.
How are you?
Tired.
They wake you up?
No, we've been up for about 20 minutes.
It's a disaster down here. We just brought all this stuff to the baby. And a call would have been awesome.
You got notification through your portal yesterday at 1:04.
So I was told what time you guys were going to come then?
Told you there was a 24-hour notice.
And where?
On your owner portal, or your tenant portal.
Is there?
It doesn't matter. Let's just
It does matter because it's a disaster.
There is.
It's okay, babe. Just let's get it
Don't worry
fixed.
about it.
It's going to be right
So
here.
this is the corner that fell, right? I get my bearings here.
Dresser?
It's mostly sitting right here in this corner. I'm just trying to see the extent as far as moisture in the concrete, but I mean, it is still. It's pegging on some again. there's efflorescence out to about here, and we have moisture in the wall right about here still. And so efflorescence is minerals from the concrete actually coming to the surface. So that shows kind of a place where it pushed towards. It has to be pretty wet to have efflorescence. It doesn't just appear. It has to be quite a bit of water for it to create that. There is a little, I mean, this wall has been wet. I don't know how long it's been wet. Do you have an idea of how long?
No idea.
It's been
Approximately?
about just over a month at this point.
Okay, well the carpet's still damp here in the corner. Right
So
there.
it's still coming in.
There's still moisture in this corner, yeah. And the wall is wet. If you saw with my the meter, when I ran this, you could see it was about 2 feet up, about there. And then it kind of, so it's about 3 feet over. So basically this piece right here, if it's been wet that long, really needs to be removed, because we don't know. And the reason that we don't see any growth is because the light and airflow and so forth. So, but
Of the mold,
of the possibility, I mean,
they've come and sprayed it twice to kill the mold.
they've sprayed it.
They've sprayed it to kill the mold twice.
Okay.
That's why they removed the baseboards too,
Yeah.
and the tech strips.
Okay. Yeah. Well, was there actually mold growth on the wall that they sprayed and cleaned?
Yeah, there was mold growth, and the tech strips were completely rotted out of mold. So.
Okay. All right. So basically, going forward, what needs to happen is we need to find the source, stop the source, and I think it's that sprayer on that corner of the house. And once we stop that, then we can get this dry. But we've also got to remove now the drywall because it's been 30 days. And we probably have to go a little bit this way, because I don't know, was it wet this way before? Was there?
It was that whole
Yeah, it was in this whole corner,
area,
right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to have to go 18 inches out past wherever the visible mold is on the back side of the drywall. So it may be 3 feet plus another foot or so, you know, but basically we're going to have to do a mini containment right here, so that we can go in there and actually physically remove it without spreading any of it into the house. Once we've got it removed, then we'll be able to see what's causing it structurally. Is it a crack in the foundation? But I know it's getting too wet from that sprinkler.
That whole area out there is
Yeah.
like a puddle, 24/7.
How often do the sprinklers go on? Have you noticed?
Twice a day.
Twice?
Yeah, they come on early in the morning and then late at night.
Yeah, it's just
But
too
if
much
you
water.
can't even walk through there without getting your shoes soaked.
Yeah. So that's, yeah. So address the water situation. I think it's the sprinkler, and maybe it's the frequency as well as the sprinkler, just the sprinkler itself. But the sprinkler shouldn't be spraying on the house. It should be spraying away from the house. From the thermal imaging camera, it looks like it's spraying on the house. So that's really the
They came
HOA's
out and fixed
situation.
that. They said that it was turned wrong, and they turned it to face the right direction.
Okay, so now that's been addressed.
When did they do that?
That was the very first step they took. So that was about a month ago. And since then, it hasn't been a puddle.
Mm-hmm.
It's just been minimal amounts of water coming through.
Okay.
Still.
Yeah.
So, but they're just watering too often.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's just too often.
Okay.
They needed to cut it down to once a day or every other day. But 2 times a day is too much. And, you know, the soil is so saturated on this whole corner of this house, the soil can't hold any more water. It's just, it can't. It has to find some place to go. So it's up against, it has the pressure, the water pressure inside there that's just going to push until it hits something that will give. And if there's cold joint down here in this corner or a slight crack, it's going to come right through there.
Okay.
So we have to get the water away from the house.
Okay.
Once that happens and we do this repair, then it'll be fine. It'll be no problem.
We've talked with Dave Ricks, property manager. Both you have talked with him, I talked with him, and he mentioned that he would get this addressed yesterday. Again, I've given him several phone calls over the course of the last month. So, how quick can we get this done? What needs to happen? Do we need, I am getting at a point where we need to get this finished one way or another somehow.
Okay.
So,
Soon.
can we open this up, start addressing that as we're going
What's
along?
the age of the house?
Yeah.
What's the age of the building? When was it built?
I can actually look it up on Zillow right now.
We need to know that, because that determines what we have to do, because we're going to be opening more than 3 square feet, which means if it's earlier than 1980, we have to do a lead and asbestos test on the paint and on the drywall. I can't even open it until we have that test.
All right.
And
I'm going to assume the house is built in...
It was built in 1977.
All right.
so,
Can we grab a
What
sample
does
and
that
get that
mean?
over to somebody?
What does that mean?
I don't know.
just the laws say that if it's built before 1980, then you have to have those 2 samples before I can
Okay.
actually physically
Okay.
remove any of it to make sure that it's okay. Now, we are asbestos certified, so it's not that big of a deal, but just I have to go through that process
Okay.
because of the law. It's federal. It's only about a $35,000 fine if you don't do it
Ooh.
and you get caught.
Well, it's only logical.
So, I'm thinking, okay, let's just play the rules. Play by the rules and we're good.
Let's do it. So can you get some samples and send them off?
Yeah, we need to use a third party for sampling.
Okay.
IEP, an independent environmental professional who will actually come take the samples. And we can get those samples probably by Monday. We'll have the answer.
The response back? So he can come over today, get some samples.
And if I can't, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
And then once we know what's there, then we can do
Okay.
the other part. Now, as my understanding that the HOA was paying for some of this,
Yes.
or all of it. Okay.
Well, if it's their fault, they should pay for
It is an exterior issue. It is there. They did cause it. It is a structural issue. It's not an internal issue at all. So I would, so whoever is in charge of that, the HOA, are you taking care of that?
You want me to sign a work authorization?
Yeah.
Okay. We can do that today if you'd like.
Okay. All right.
Unless you want to sign
And
the
then
work
don't put any
authorization,
more
it
air
doesn't
on
matter
it.
to me.
Okay.
Do not blow any more air.
I'm okay with that. That thing is loud.
Yeah.
Is it habitable the way it is right here?
Is it? That's a great question. I haven't taken a sample, an air sample.
Okay.
So I can't tell you if there's any, anything in the air that can be problematic to the people who are sleeping 4 feet from that spot.
Okay.
Well,
Can we
she
do
has
that?
asthma
Will-
and she
will we
gets
know
asthma
today?
attacks down here.
Will,
So
She
we
sits
do
on
that.
the couch.
is that part of the sample?
Yes.
Airborne?
We will take pre and post air samples.
Okay. All right.
Because the
That is
pre
great.
samples will allow us to know what we need to do to address it. And so I would suggest not sleeping right here. Is there? I mean, you can sleep upstairs.
Yeah, I've been sleeping down here. She's been sleeping on the couch. I just don't fit on the couch. I'm too tall.
Okay. Well, until we can at least isolate it, with the mini containment and stuff like that, I would. And we don't even know what's in the air right now. We don't.
Okay.
So once we have those samples back, then I can address the mold issue.
Right.
And so, yeah, I think that's our first step.
So the answer is let's find out what we got.
Yep, we got to find out what we're up against.
I'll have somebody come over today
I'm gonna make the call.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I mean, I don't want to.
No,
It's
we're here
gotta
all
be-
weekend
okay.
now. We just got back. We got back early in the morning, but we're waiting.
Okay.
So I just appreciate it.
Anything else we got?
Solution.
Do you want to go outside and take a look at some of these things
Sure.
real quick as
Those
the video is rolling, so we've got an idea of what we've got
Do you
right
think
today?
there's any more on the outside and inside?
Oh no.
Can we check that
Yeah,
out?
we can.
Don't forget your hydro sensor here. Do you want to use this on the floor?
I love how you have this set up. Yes, I love it.
This is about here, I saw the water starting. It's about here, so if it's I'm not getting any readings.
Nothing?
Well, that's good. Nothing in the closet.
So the only readings we're getting is right here in the corner.
Yes. And that's concrete under the stairs.
We got an unfinished portion of the basement around the corner, right here.
I would assume, but we can pull some stuff out if we need to.
Don't worry about it.
I didn't see anything in the bedroom, anything else. There's no indications of water intrusion in this area, so that's good.
I haven't really seen anything come in this way.
Alright, let's go outside and take a look at that. Did you grab my...
I did. It's right here. Oh, do you want the whole thing? Right here.
So, is this the way out?
It is right here.
This-
Got turned. Those stairs got me turned around a little bit.
Did you drive that truck all the way up here?
Yeah.
I'm gonna come back and take a picture of what I'm showing with the camera. That's probably the
The
best.
exterior of the house
So-
right here. Here is the thermal.
So here's your window.
I don't know if you can see this very well.
Here's your window. This is the dry side, unaffected. And this goes over to the corner that's affected. There's the window in the center, and then that's the corner. There's a downspout coming down. You can see how wet this corner is. And right there is the actual pipe, sprinkler head.
Here is right next to the sidewalk.
So here's a really good shot. Here's the corner of the house. And then you can see the sprinkler head sitting up right there. And you can see how it's sprayed directly onto the house. And this soil down here is just saturated.
Got a really bad glare.
But you can see the entire corner has been wet. It's run down the house, down to the downstairs, probably hitting the cold drain. We won't know until we open the wall, but
It's
we
got-
do know this is probably the source, is a sprinkler.
It's got to be. Common sense would indicate that.
Yeah.
You mind going along
Yeah,
here
yeah.
real quick and let's take a look at that.
I don't want to walk in the mush.
This is awfully wet right around here. We've got
So here's another spot. So here's where we came from the corner. Okay. And it kind of goes down until we hit about here. Then it goes up the house. Up, and there's the window on the house. So just below the window is where it kind of goes down. There's your a dryer vent. And so about 8 to 10 feet is saturated.
all right. Anything else? Is this thing?